So now we talked about what about the cell sizes. So cell sizes are macro, micro, pico, femto, atto, jepto, and I can't remember, what powers are what. Okay, so don't even go by 10 raised to minus 6 is actually, that is micro that we know. Okay, 10 raised to minus 12 is pico and 10 raised to minus 15 is femto, but that has nothing to do with the cell sizes. It just, they go smaller, smaller, smaller. Okay, so a pico cell is not a millionth of a microcell. Okay, neither in the radius nor in the area. It's just a small, maybe factor of 5 or 10 or 20 or something, right? But they just gave the names like that. Okay, and none of these are standard names except for the macro cell, which is the standard cell, and the femto cell, which is in home, and then pico and micro could be any size. Okay, except that micro is bigger, pico is smaller. So pico is generally used in building with public access, which means like a hospital and so on and so forth. Micro cell is a neighborhood and public access, malls, train stations, and so on and so forth. And atto cell in room and jepto cell on desk. I have never seen those two. So let's not worry about it right now. Okay, there are no million nano. That's another thing I noticed, that they skipped some things here. They went straight from macro to micro, skipping the millicells. And they went, they skipped the nano. Well, pico is same as nano, isn't it? Pico, nano is 10 raised to minus 9, is it? 12, 9. Okay, so they skipped 10 raised to minus 9. Alright, so, yeah.
The active cell, isn't it like Wi-Fi?
Okay, so here we are not talking about that at all. We are still talking about straight LTE coming, and I haven't seen a straight LTE in a room yet. So we are not talking about Wi-Fi. Okay, there is a whole module on, there is a whole slide on Wi-Fi thing. Right now we are talking straight LTE. Okay, so the idea is femtocell. Now how the way femtocells work is that in the femtocell the backhaul is by DSL. So it doesn't go from here to there by air. The femtocell just covers this little house. If your cell phone is here, you talk to the femtocell base station, and whatever it gets, it sends it by internet to the tower, not by the air, by wire. And whatever comes from there, it comes by the wire, and then it transmits it back to you. You see the point? That the backhaul is not by the air, it is by wire. Only the first hop from UE to the base station to the femtocell is wireless. But then it goes over the wire on your own DSL. So you connect it to your DSL. Okay? That point is clear? And if your signal is bad, if you're not able to get signal in your home, you can buy a femtocell for $270. At one point I thought of buying one, but some companies will give it to you for free. So right now I have one for free, and it has nothing to do with Wi-Fi. Basically, so actually I think the one that I have does not have the backhaul by DSL. It is front haul and the backhaul is both by air. And the one that I have works like this, that I have two units like this, and one I sit and put it near the window, so it has a good reception, and then that one transmits it to the central unit, which is my base station. So it's all by the air. Does not use Wi-Fi, does not use by internet. So there is some transmission between those two units, and what band they use, what protocol they use, I don't know, but they don't use my Wi-Fi. So femtocells, 50 to 100 meter cell radius, indoor, residential, small office, SOHO. SOHO is the word for small office, home office. SOHO. SOHO. Backhaul over DSL, plug and play. So now because it is at home and people have no idea of wireless 4G, 3G or anything, So they are plug and play. They just send you a mail and you plug it into power and that's all you do. Okay? They are self-organizing. So if your neighbor also got one and you got one, they're not going to interfere with each other. They are self-organizing. They will figure out that the neighbor has one and you have one, and they will somehow, talk to the boss, figure it all out. Okay, self-organizing, self-optimizing. They do everything. So you don't have to program anything. Omnidirectional antennas, they are very simple with no sectorization. 10 to 50 users, 10 to 40 megabits, low cost. Defined user groups. Now that is another thing, is that they're not serving the public. So the phone company might even build in the phone numbers that, okay, you and you can talk, or certain people can talk through that. So the defined user group. Continuation of macro network and handover of calls. So this is basically calls will be handed over, which doesn't really work very well. But if you start making call inside the home and walk out, the calls will not get disconnected. It will be handed over to the main tower, right? But just yesterday, my wife complained. She came out from outside talking to somebody, and as soon as she entered the home, the phone called somebody. Oh, I got into the home. So this doesn't really work at that much, but it should work basically. Regular mobile equipment work in the femtocells, and so you don't have to change anything in the equipment. Equipment understands. They just talk the same protocol. And the multiple femtocells should coexist, and they understand that every apartment in a big building will have its own femtocell. So that's not a problem. New applications, HD video streaming, LAN services. Now because you are so close to the tower, you can get high speed, and then you can do high speed stuff such as video streaming. Yeah.
So I would like to ask, what about the signal that the phone can connect to Wi-Fi and get signal for the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, so that's a different technique. We'll come to that at some point. I think we will talk about that. That's another technique. So far we are just talking about, everybody is talking LTE only. They don't speak Wi-Fi. They're all using licensed frequencies. They're not using 2.4 gigahertz or 5.8 gigahertz here so far. Right? There's another technology which uses Wi-Fi. So what does self-organizing mean? Self-organizing means that basically the lifetime of a device, and this is for any device, is you have to install it, then find out where you are, and then do the configuration, and then you come do the measurement and then optimize it. If something breaks down, you can do the healing again, and you keep doing throughout your life. Basically throughout your life you do the measurement, optimize yourself and heal yourself, and keep doing it. That is called self-organizing. So no, basically self-organizing means that we don't need you to go and punch the buttons or do anything. All the logic is built into the device. So user installable. So I have 70 million femtocell expected in 2012, right? So non-physically accessible to the carrier. So actually I think this number may have been overstated because there was in 2012 we all expected to have femtocell in every home. But this Wi-Fi technology came in, which he's talking about, that really gets rid of whole femtocell. So when I called my phone company and I said, I need this thing, he said, no, why don't you try Wi-Fi? I said, no, I don't want to try Wi-Fi, send me the cell. So when I insisted, the son sent me, and then I said, okay, give me Wi-Fi 2. So I got Wi-Fi 2. And actually Wi-Fi works much better. Okay, but that's a different technology. So there was a point when Wi-Fi was not thought about, and they were thinking about femtocell. But the femtocell revolution has been hurt by this Wi-Fi integration. So right now Wi-Fi integration is working much. Alright, so 70 million, right? Non-physically accessible to the carrier. Operators provides the femtocell ID and the customer registers the location and it self-configures. It figures out what frequency to use, what power to use, what preambles to do, what is the ID of the cell, and so on and so forth. And if there are other cells in the neighborhood, everything it figures it out, right? And turned on by consumers. The problem is that even though they can do everything, but the customer can turn off the power. So you thought about there's a neighbor cell yesterday, but there's no neighbor cell today. Right? So topology changes fast, and then it has to optimize all over again. So this is what is called self-organizing. So now you know what does SON mean. SON is self-organizing network. Means that totally hands-off, totally automated.